to Modernity Centre, site of the curling competition of the 2019 Canada Winter Games. This competition is presented by Shaw, the official telecommunications provider of the 2019 Canada Winter Games. Bienvenue au Centre Modernity pour la compétition de curling des Jeux d'hiver du Canada 2019. Cette compétition est présentée par Shaw, fournisseur officiel des services de télécommunication des Jeux d'hiver du Canada 2019. This morning's event features draw number 8. Ce matin, nous vous présentons l'épreuve des placements chez les hommes et les femmes numéro 8. On sheets 2 and 3, sur les pistes 2 et 3, Ontario versus British Columbia. Ontario contre Colombie-Britannique. On sheets 4 and 5, New Brunswick versus Alberta. Sur les pistes 4 et 5, Nouveau-Brunswick contre Alberta. On sheets 6 and 7, sur les pistes 6 et 7, Nova Scotia versus Prince Edward Island. La Nouvelle-Écosse contre Île de Prince-Édouard. And a really quick happy 16th birthday to the skip of Team Nova Scotia, Mitchie Moo. On sheets 8 and 9, sur les pistes 8 et 9, Northwest Territories versus Newfoundland and Labrador. Territoire de Nord-Ouest contre Terre-Neuve et Labrador. And it was the PEI skip. I'm sorry, not Nova Scotia. PEI skip. My fault. And on sheets 10 and 11, pistes 10 et 11, Quebec versus Saskatchewan. Quebec contre Saskatchewan.
For every gold medal won at the 2019 Canada Games, Shaw Communications will donate $150 to a local charity in the Red Deer community chosen by the gold medalist. That's $25,000 going towards deserving charities in Central Alberta. Thank you, Shaw, for making an impact in our community.
They forgot to unmute us on the ice.
Aux Jeux du Canada 2019, Shaw Communications versera $150 à un organisme de bienfaisance de Red Deer choisi par le médaillé d'or. Au total, $25 000 seront ainsi versés à des organismes de bienfaisance du centre de l'Alberta. Merci Shaw de faire un impact positif au sein de notre collectivité.
We wish to acknowledge the ancestral and traditional Indigenous territories of the Treaty 6 Cree and Treaty 7 Blackfoot and Stoney Nations. We also recognize this region as a historical Métis gathering site, and we are grateful to be here as we gather today for this event.
Nous tenons à remercier les Premières Nations faisant partie du traité numéro 6, les Cris, et du traité numéro 7, les Pieds-Noirs et les Stoney, car nous sommes réunis aujourd'hui sur leurs terres ancestrales et traditionnelles. Cette région est également un lieu de rassemblement traditionnel des Métis, et c'est un privilège de pouvoir nous y réunir dans le cadre de cet événement.
Please rise if you are able, remove your hats, and join Shelley Popovich to sing our national anthem. Mesdames et messieurs, pouvez vous lever, gardez vos chapeaux et rejoindre Shelley Popovich pour l'hymne national.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command, Katambrase po
All right, welcome to our welcome to the 2019 Canada Winter Games curling draw. My name is Andrew Jones, and I'm joined by Brad Hamilton, and we'll be your commentators for the Quebec-Saskatchewan game.
The games may commence. Good luck and good curling. Les jeux peuvent commencer. Bonne chance et bon curling.
That's absolutely phenomenal.
Today's game is between Saskatchewan and Quebec women. The Quebec women come in 5th place, and the Saskatchewan women come in 6th place.
All right, we'll run through the player lineups here for Team Saskatchewan. We have skip Skylar Ackerman, third Madison Johnson, second Chantel Hogue, and lead Samantha McLaren.
Quebec's lineup is skip Hannah Gargle, third Kyra Johnson, second Amber Gargle, and lead Amy Upton. First end here, Saskatchewan has Hammer. Quebec's underway.
Electing to throw up the center guard.
So game is underway. We're having some audio difficulties here, so I think the video is working, but we'll see if we can get the audio working.
Just coming up a little bit heavy on that draw, but still sitting in a pretty good position right now. Quebec electing to hit the blue stone out. Line's looking good. Sweepers are going. Looks like they just clipped the guard there, but spill it into the house. Saskatchewan looking to hit this and split the rings and lie two. Sweeper's not going yet, holding off, looking like it's coming up. It's a nice shot. Saskatchewan will lie two. Lots of fans out there today. Team Saskatchewan's fans are out there in full force. And the whole center is packed. Attendance has been great all week. Stick around. Chantel from Team Saskatchewan looking to draw around there and lie two. Very nice shot. Quebec hitting and trying to make that roll again. Sweeper. Looks like you're just going to spill out on that one, but still a very nice shot. And now we'll have third Madison Johnson draw around the corner. The ice here at the Bernie Center has been great all week. Kids are getting a treat. Nice 15-second ice and lots of curl. Closest we can probably get to arena ice, and that's a big thanks to the ice staff here. Saskatchewan with the hammer looking to play a pretty clean and open end, and maybe a touch heavy here, and yeah, just gonna slide through. Quebec's probably okay with that. They can keep the blank alive and nice shot here from Team Quebec. Was third Kyra Johnson. Sweeper signaling, it's maybe a little heavier than what they had called, but they're going hard now from the skip. Looks like it's curling pretty good. And gonna get the rock out of play. Shooter will also spill out. Quebec gonna draw to the forefoot, make the blank hard and the roll hard. Sweeper's going early on this one. Trying to drag it into the house. Looks like weight's pretty good. The ice has been running real nice here all week from what we've heard. Nice shot from Team Quebec. Saskatchewan skip, Skylar Ackerman, throwing the hit and trying to probably stick the shooter somewhere in the house to make Quebec hit the next stone. Skylar has quite the impressive curling career for such a young age, being 17 and having already competed for Saskatchewan at the U18 Curling Championships. She was also second at those U18 Curling Championships. A nice throw from her there. Quebec Skips also has a very impressive resume for her age, being 17 and winning the Quebec Winter Games and the U18 Sapphire Junior Slam. Very impressive for such a young age, and I imagine we'll be seeing these curlers lots from years to come. Maybe a little wide here, but it's going to get rid of the stone, and Saskatchewan likely going to play for the blank in the first end. A very nice, clean start to this game. No one really taking any major risks, and some good shots made to carry the hammer over to the second end for Team Saskatchewan. And I think everyone's getting the feel for the ice out there now, and we're going to see a little bit more aggressive plays going on, that they've got an idea what the curl does and the weight, and should be in for a treat this game. Both these teams currently are in 5th and 6th place, and they're both looking for big wins here to help them get into that championship pool. Yeah, just throwing it, and what a lot of teams will do here for the blank is they'll throw the hit down a path that they haven't seen yet, so they can figure out what the curl is, so there's not a wasted rock out there. They can use it for, put that in the memory bank, so if they ever have to throw one out there, they'll be good to go. Yeah, good end by both teams to keep that in play. And hopefully we'll have our co-host up here shortly. They're just having a little bit of technical difficulties on the mics, but and you'll see Team Saskatchewan there having a quick little debrief meeting. That's a pretty common thing among teams now, is to keep communication open and keep teams talking. That's, at this level, communicating with your team is one of the major success factors out there. And they're going to bring this into play, it looks like. Put it right on the top 4, thinking that Saskatchewan might elect to ignore that rock and put up a corner guard, I would imagine. Saskatchewan deciding to hit, keep the game clean, and get a roll to the wing. For people just tuning into our broadcast, we're starting the second end here with the blank happening in the first end and Saskatchewan retaining hammer. Just coming up, looks like maybe a little bit light, and yeah, the ice here, if you're a little light and inside, it's not very forgiving. You're going to get a lot of overcurl. It's just a testament to how good it is. You got to throw a clean rock to make sure you make it, and I think teams have found that out pretty early this week and have made appropriate adjustments, but it still catches the player the odd time. Throwing up the center guard to protect that one. That rock's in a pretty good position. Oh, signaling to come in with it a little bit. Just bite the 12-foot. Rock looks like it's sliding pretty good there. Not quite curling up like I think they thought it would, but still not a bad shot. Saskatchewan playing the double takeout here, so we'll expect to see a little more weight. Yeah, sweeper signaling it's heavier. They're going now for line. It's looking close. Very nice shot. If they can get that out of there, that's a very good shot. Got the duck calls up here from Team Saskatchewan. And Quebec looking to hit this in line 2 now. Probably would like a little bit of roll, but is going to be careful to make sure they avoid the jam. And sweeping a little early here to hold it, but backing off now. And it's going to jam on them. That's Saskatchewan drawing the wide wing to split the house and hopefully keep it deuce in play here. Supers look like they're going hard. Probably going to be okay with this coming up a little late. At the junior level, we talk a lot about tolerance and what's the right way to miss a shot. And in this scenario, missing the shot light probably isn't too bad. It gets them the corner guard, and they can use that in future shots and still keep that deuce opportunity alive. Quebec looking to remove as many stones here as possible. Probably trying to get a blank out of Saskatchewan again to make sure they keep hammer and even ends. You'll see a lot of teams try to do that, so they have hammer in that last end coming home. Saskatchewan using that corner guard they put up. Like it. One sweeper always staying close to make sure they don't overcook it, but no, getting the signal that it's a little bit heavy. And just coming up a little heavy there. Looking to bring this top 4. That was a good rush by those supers to drag that rock. They held that a long way. Saskatchewan will look to play the hit and roll.
All right, we think my mic might be working.
We might have our co-host back here right away. Technical difficulties getting cleared up.
Just trying to figure out if we can hear me or not.
Just getting a little wide on that takeout with that extra weight. They tend not to curl back like the draws do. The hits appear to be running pretty straight this morning, not getting a ton of swing out of them, so have to be careful watching that as the game goes on.
All right, I think my mic's back working. I think the only problem is we can't hear each other, so.
These Quebec sweepers look like they're pounding it again. They've been really dragging some rocks very nicely here. It looks like they got some good sweeping ice out there. Going to try to go as hard as they can and get this in. But again, like I said earlier, missing this light is not the end of the world because it gets them that center guard up, and if Saskatchewan elects to ignore it, maybe gives Quebec the chance to get around it later, but it looks like Saskatchewan's playing the come around.
Saskatchewan's going a little more aggressive here than they were in that first end. Most teams like to run them up and down the sheet for the first end to get used to. We can hear each other now.
Yeah. Awesome. Looks like our technical difficulties are over.
I can try and give Andrew's voice a little bit of a break here. Saskatchewan's got a good one looking here. Played a little tick off of that Quebec guard, and they're actually over-buried behind their corner guard.
All right, now our technical difficulties are over. We're good to go here. And yeah, Saskatchewan in a very good position here right now with that rock over-buried behind the corner guard. Quebec will likely try to make some sort of play at it or down to it. And we can see the skip in the third talking about that right now. It looks like they're electing to come around their center guard they just threw. Going a little bit more aggressive, as Brad said.
Yeah, going around the corner, it's got to be a pretty good shot to get shot out of it. So I think going around the center, either that or you do something with that corner guard, but it's pretty late in the end. So tuck one a little bit around that center guard and try to get the scoring zone shrunk down a little bit. Looks like lots of curl. They're out in the 12-foot with the broom to draw to the button. So
Quebec skip, Hannah Gargle delivering that stone. Looks like sweepers are on it again. Ton of curl on this ice, which has been nice. It's probably a real treat for some of these athletes. They don't get to play in these type of conditions very often. Yeah, a real nice swing on this rock. Looks like it's hanging out
a little bit.
Had the inside sweeper there, getting the directional sweeping going, trying to bring that over, but still looks like they left it a little open.
Yeah, I think there's air between that rock and that center guard. Saskatchewan's probably going to try and hit and roll behind the center guard.
Probably see a softer weight hit though than they've been throwing. Probably looking at more of a board weight type hit to make sure they get that inside roll. They don't want to just leave it sticking out there in the open for Quebec to play on it. So they'll most likely be trying to get a roll either away or towards the center here.
Big game for both these teams today. Top 6 make the playoffs, and right now Quebec is in 5th and Saskatchewan's in 6th. So whoever wins this game's looking good to head to those playoffs later in the week.
Looks like a little bit of weight coming here.
I didn't see what weight she called, but probably rolling away.
Yeah, looks like we might be in a roll out here.
About a 10 seconds. Nice shot.
It's a very good shot. Very nice roll.
Splits the house, kind of has the 2 set up. I'm going to guess Quebec hits that outside one and tries to roll behind the center guard again.
Yeah, trying to make that deuce as difficult as possible for Saskatchewan right now, but they're set up very nice here. Looking.
2's not the end of the world this early in the game with the 5 rock rule, so.
No, there's still lots of time to generate lots of points, and that's one of the things we've seen with the 5 rock rule is the scores in games have gotten a lot more higher up there, and even seen as high as double digits sometimes now, and keeps fans engaged and keeps every end very interesting.
Yeah, I see a few 3-enders out there and a couple of other sheets early this morning, so.
Yeah.
This one looks like it needs to curl right now. Might have got a little wide on that one.
Yeah, we haven't been seeing quite as snappy of a curl off the center line either, playing that in to out. And
Just goes by that one.
Saskatchewan will throw the draw for 3 to the paint, and probably pretty excited about that, getting that early lead.
That was a pretty low stress end for Saskatchewan. Got the house split, and nice free draw for 3 here.
Even with being down 3 points this early, it's still anyone's game with that 5-rock rule. 3's almost become the new 2 sometimes, and you're never out of it with the new 5-rock rule.
No. Be interesting to see how aggressive teams go once they get down 2 or 3 here.
The first 2 ends here, we've seen a pretty clean style of play, so I imagine Team Quebec's going to go for more of the cluttered, junked up approach. If Saskatchewan makes this draw, Supers look like they don't mind it. They're kind of on and off with it. That
Sure.
guard's getting close, but looks like they're by.
Threw it nice, lots of rotation there.
Very nice draw, right to the 4-foot.
There's the duck calls, so it must have been a good shot by Saskatchewan.
I don't know if you can see the Saskatchewan fans on the live stream or not over there in the corner, but they're all repping the green pride. Had great attendance for all of these events. We got a pretty packed house again this morning, and it just seems to get busier and busier throughout the day.
Yeah, I heard there was like 900 people here on the weekend, which is a lot of people out to watch the young curlers.
Yeah, this is probably exciting for them. They don't get a lot of chances to play in front of these big crowds, and it just helps them get that much more experience as the game goes on, especially at this young age.
It'd be kind of cool for the sheet 11 here. You're right against the fans, so mom and dad and grandma and grandpa are right there next to you, cheering you on. Nice loud duck calls right beside you.
So yeah, it looks like Saskatchewan's looking to bring this one into the rings, thinking that Quebec probably won't hit it and play a little bit more aggressive this game. Keep things nice and clean for them with that 3-point lead.
Yeah, you might as well take the freebie here. I think you go top 4. Quebec probably ignores it, so.
Looks like this one might be coming up a little bit light, but it's not a bad way to miss that rock either.
Tight guard, we'll see. Quebec throws their corner and decides to go around it. Oh, Quebec's going to the wings.
Come in with it too.
Yeah.
We've got quite the array of music up here. I'm not sure if you guys can hear it, but sweepers haven't touched this one yet, so it might be a little heavy, but looks like it's coming down.
Looks like it's going to stop in the house. Bit of a defensive call there. Saskatchewan's probably going to be pretty happy to walk up and hit this one.
Yeah, not taking a lot of ice on those hits. Looks like they're running pretty straight when they start getting that weight on them. This rock looks okay. Supers are going.
Yeah, she's got a nose hit. Nice control weight, about 10.5 seconds, hog to hog there.
Yeah, that's a nice controllable weight out on that ice, because it won't have the snap like the board weights do with that softer weight, but it'll still be able to curl up a little bit for you, and you'll be able to control it. And
Quebec's going to play hit on that outside one with lead Amy Upton. Maybe try and play a bit of a clean end here just to settle the nerves a little bit after that 3-ender.
yeah,
This one ran pretty straight.
really straight. Still gonna get that rock out of play, it looks like, and curious to see what Saskatchewan does. Yeah, they're gonna come around. in some scenarios, you'll see teams actually just run up and rip that center guard that they threw just to keep things clean. But Saskatchewan probably feeling pretty comfortable with the ice out there with that 3-ender, so going a little bit more aggressive. Looking to probably get a force out of Quebec. And
yeah, more than one way to get the force. Often the best way to get a force is to shrink that scoring zone down a little bit, even if you put this top 8, top 4.
It's getting close to that guard, but line looks really good here.
Good job by the sweepers there.
Held that. That's still a pretty good spot for that rock. A little higher than I think they wanted it, but
Quebec's going to try soft weight. I think that's probably hack. Hack weight, roll to the outside.
yeah, I'm probably looking at that 13 to 12.5 seconds on the hog to hog.
Secker and Amber Gargle throwing. Running a little straight right now. Here it comes. I'm not sure it's going to come enough.
Just gonna hang out there. Looks like the weight might have been a little heavier than the skip at signal, but still a little surprised that didn't curl up for him. Generally that soft weight can be pretty snappy on ice like this and curl up.
Saskatchewan's coming the other way now. I think still trying to get to that top 4.
This is second Chantal Ho delivering this rock. Sweepers on it early, looks like for line, maybe. Nice shot over on sheet 10 on our other broadcast sheet. Line's looking really good here. Gonna slow down. So
great shot.
Beautiful shot. Overburied and
overburied, sitting on the button.
yeah, Quebec's gonna.
When we talk, do we interfere?
Yeah, Quebec gonna run up there and kind of do a little bit of chasing here, trying to clear out that front end, get things cleared up, so they leave their skip a shot here. But Saskatchewan put that stone probably in about a perfect spot for them. Nice straight peel.
I would expect Saskatchewan stays on the offense here now, sitting as good as they are in the house. They'll probably throw another center guard, keep Quebec peeling away here.
Yeah. Because at the moment, it's a little tough for us to tell up here, but I'm pretty confident it's almost impossible to outdraw where that blue stone is as of right now.
Almost looks like she's got a piece of the pin down there, I think so. Fun atmosphere here. We're surrounded by fans, so it can get a little noisy when their team makes a shot here. This one's out a little wide. I'm not sure it's going to come enough to guard too much here.
Yeah, it looks like they kind of caught an outward track there, and it just isn't going to curl up. So I imagine they're going to try to bring this close in as possible and get third shot out of it to just put some pressure on. And looks like they were able to get a piece of that in the house, and Quebec's probably not too upset about that because they kind of sets up the double here on the 2 Saskatchewan stones. Gives them a chance to get that one off the button.
Decent chance you make the double. You could also roll behind that one they just threw, but
caught it nose, but got it a little bit off the button now, and you got a stone out in front there that you can probably use. So
see how aggressive Saskatchewan wants to stay here. If they throw the center or try to get rid of that yellow rock, looks like they're going to stay on the offense and throw another center guard here. A little bit of danger here if they leave that yellow one open. Gives Quebec something to run back.
Looks like she's taken a little less ice here on the guard. Just didn't quite curl the way I think they thought it would last shot. And super signaling this is maybe a little bit heavy, so they're going to try to call plan B and tap that blue up.
Yeah, seems if you're a little heavy to start with, it runs for a little while before it starts to catch the curl.
Yeah, that barely curled a foot from where their draw was, but that's a very good plan B. It tuck a piece behind that yellow and you guard your one on the button, probably not going to be too upset with how that turned out.
I would say the force is definitely on now. They're lying 3, and Quebec's probably going to play a run back on that yellow.
Yeah, try to get some granite moving there and clear out the house as much as they can, and try to leave their skip a draw path to the button. It looks like is going to be the way out of this end.
Starting to get pretty important that Quebec score here. I think just try to find a way to score and get up on the scoreboard and get back in the game.
Yeah, a lot about momentum too. This looks like they're going to get rid of one. Ooh. It's close on the run back attempt to get rid of the one stone, but just over curling a little bit. And yeah, Saskatchewan's going to keep up with that aggressive play style. They're in a very good position as of right now. The only nice thing for Team Quebec right now is they do have that draw path on the in-turn side to try to get a piece of the button for their one. So kind of
go ahead.
Kind of open things up a little bit.
Saskatchewan's done a real good job shrinking that score zone down. This is almost the perfect end for them. I'm sure they would have been happy with a nice clean one, but when you get this opportunity to keep the pressure on, you take it.
Mm-hmm. Still taking the same ice for the draw, or the guard, sorry. So I'm thinking they think that's the curl path. They just haven't quite got the weight right on the guard yet. So we'll see what happens this time if it curls up like they think it will.
So Skylar Ackerman throwing her first rock for Saskatchewan.
This one doesn't look quite as heavy as the last ones, but
she throws a really nice rotation on her rocks.
This one did curl a lot more than the last ones. That shows how important that weight control is. That's, yep, it's about the perfect spot.
Yeah, it's about as good as it gets. Quebec's looking at the off the outside blue.
Not an easy shot, but it is there, and if you make it, you're sitting really good behind that pile.
Yeah. Looks like there's lots of curl to the wings too. She's taking almost a foot of ice here.
Yeah, I didn't see the weight call here, so I'm curious. Usually for in-offs, you throw a little bit more weight to try to get both of those stones moving, but might be going for a quieter approach here and thinking just kick that stone out of the 4-foot and leave your shooter there, but we'll find out pretty quick.
Two choices, I guess. She makes the double or she just rolls into that other one with quieter weight.
Looks like there's a little bit of weight on this stone, but the supers are on it early.
It's curling hard.
Yeah, really hard.
Oh, that went hard to the wings. She's going to get the outside roll, unfortunately. Saskatchewan probably tries to choke off whichever draw they think is the easiest for Quebec here.
Yeah, I'm going to guess they're going to try to block something on that in-turn path. It looks like that would be the easiest way to the pin. They're signaling this one to come tight into the top 12, actually. So generally, though, the tolerance I would imagine they think is anywhere kind of on the left side of the T line for us, or the center line. And
Skylar just tapped in front of the house as well, so
I think they're looking to put some pressure on and go a little aggressive, bringing this in with Quebec only having one stone left. So not a bad call, and it definitely will make the young Quebec skip throw a difficult shot. But I know I was watching a game earlier this week she was in, and she made quite a few of those. So you can never count a team out until it's all said and done.
Yeah, put this in a spot, try and drag Quebec out into a wide draw rather than an easy one to the 4-foot. Sweepers are just cleaning. Looks like the weight's pretty good.
Yeah, they're not going too heavy on that. Looks like they're electing to leave it a little bit above the house, which is a smart call. It really makes that draw path that much harder now.
I think Quebec's got the wide draw both ways. It's to the 4 foot. It's hard to tell. Our camera's not working at the far end, so it kind of looks like Saskatchewan might have a piece of the button.
Yeah, at this point, I think it's try to get it as close as you can, and if you get shot, it's a very good shot. But cut Saskatchewan down here as much as you can. Get that right in the 4 foot. This will come down a lot to sweepers. If the skip puts it close, they're going to have to judge it in there. And we've seen these Quebec sweepers before. They can drag a rock a long way. So we're getting the timeout signaled by Team Quebec. Coaches. Looks like we don't have the list of coaches for the teams, but oh, never mind. My apologies. So Neil Gargle, the coach of Quebec, will come out, and looks like he has a different thought of what should happen. And for team,
not sure Hannah's thrown a draw yet, so that might be coming into play here. But there's not really a great hit option either. I think it's just whether you like the in-turn or the out-turn.
Yeah. And for Team Saskatchewan, they have Patrick Ackerman coming out as their coach. Looks like both teams have dads out there coaching, which is pretty common, I think, at the junior level.
Yeah, it's nice for the coaches here. They're out on the ice. I said one of the disadvantages of coaching curling is you usually got a piece of glass between you and your players. It's nice that they're out on the ice there. They can kind of hear what their players are saying and get a better sense of what the emotions might be.
Yeah, it really helps to know what your players are thinking and their attitudes out there on the ice. Seeing the high fives go up for Team Saskatchewan, they're probably pretty happy with how this last couple ends have played out. And back here, just looks like they've made up a decision. But
if our fans are interested in the men's game beside us, Quebec and Saskatchewan are tied 1-1 after 2 ends. They each took a single, so
close game there. There was some really good shots made on that sheet.
They've had a ton of rocks in play both ends over there. They didn't waste any time going at it.
No. That's the nice thing with having the practices before, is sometimes that first end teams don't play that clean game we saw here. They go straight for it and try to get those big ends racked up as early as possible. So it looks like they're electing to play the in-turn draw here.
That's what the Quebec women had in mind before the timeout, but coach might have just wanted to reaffirm the shot and the weight. And
looks like we're getting the signal of a little bit heavy. It is on a wider path, so the Supers are going to be careful with it. Could catch a little bit of frost out there, but backing right off now.
Looks like it's going to be a steal of at least one. Yeah, just a little heavy. Looks like 2 more for Saskatchewan.
So score after 3 ends is 7, or no, sorry, my apologies, 5-2. 5-0 for Saskatchewan.
Can try and give you some rundown if you're watching our game, but interested in other one on sheet 1. We've got BC men beating Ontario 3-1. Sheet 2 is the Ontario women up 4-0 on
4-0.
BC. Sheet 4 is the Alberta men ahead of New Brunswick's 2-1. Sheet 5, the New Brunswick women are up on Alberta 2-0. Oh, they're just going to hang the third end on me here, so I'll give you an update there.
Looks like it's a 2-1 game now for
Yeah.
New Brunswick.
Alberta women got 1 and 3, so it's 2-1 for Alberta. Sheet 6 has the Nova Scotia men up 1-0 on PEI. Sheet 7 is the PEI women up 1-0 on Nova Scotia. Sheet 8, Newfoundland men got 3 in the first end, but the Northwest Territories has come back with 2, and so it's 3-2 for Newfoundland, and it's 2-2 between Newfoundland and the Northwest Territories women on sheet 9.
Yeah, not too many huge scoring ends out there, and a lot of blank ends, which is not something you see a lot anymore with the 5-rock rule. So teams looking like they're electing to play things a little clean here in the first half of the game out there. But
our game, Saskatchewan tried to go top 4, came up a little bit light. They're just biting the 8-foot in the center there, and Quebec's throwing the corner guard this time. It's time to get aggressive, try to get 2 back, and then see what happens after that.
Saskatchewan looking to tap that one in the 12-foot up, keeping the play in the house. So being up 5, that would be a good call.
Yeah, I think she just called back 4-foot weight here, try to tap it right up to the tee line.
That rock looks like it might have a little bit of weight coming in, but the line looks nice. Skip signaling it's a little wide, so
looks a little bit more weight than she wanted. I think she called back 4, and this is going to be like just out the back, so didn't quite get the curl she was looking for. So Quebec leads. Looks like they're going around their corner, I think, with Amy Upton's second stone here. Sweepers were calling a little up. This looks like plan B. Try to come off the Saskatchewan stone at the top of the 12 there.
Looks like they're going to just tick
Great
off it.
plan B call by Hannah there to get the roll at least half tucked behind their corner guard.
Yeah, that's a very good call, catching that early. Good communication between the sweepers to let the skip know that was a bit heavy and they could play that plan B. Like we said earlier, as long as teams at this level are communicating well, they generally have a good chance to do well. And
yeah, there was a pretty early weight call there. I think that it was heavy. It makes it easier on the skip if you know that.
Saskatchewan looking like they're going to try to get a piece of this. Looks like they're close.
Real nice throw there. Just make that rock go away. Staying around's a bonus. Probably even not sure they want to stay around at the back, but make that rock go away. Quebec's going to play the hit and the roll here.
Looks like we maybe got a little wide on this one, but they've had a lot of curl off that center line, so.
Not a bad shot, hit and roll in front of that back blue one. Saskatchewan's got to be a little bit careful. They don't jam at the back.
Playing the out turn there to hopefully avoid the jam. Probably not going to be too upset if they roll out. Looks like they might need to go on this one. They're going to have to be, I don't know, it looks like it's a pretty good shot right on the nose.
Real good sweeping there. It's one thing I've noticed watching this week. The quality of sweepers seems to have gone up big time in younger curlers than it was back in my day.
For those of you who don't know, Brad is a little bit older than I am, so he's not used to the new fancy sweeping techniques yet, but he's getting there. Oh, it's true though. Sweeping has become such an integral part of the game. You can't compete at this level without having a great front end sweeping team. They can make a lot of shots for you, and I know skips appreciate it when their sweepers can drag those rocks in for that final shot, and it takes a lot of pressure off them knowing they can throw it a little bit lighter and their sweepers will get it there.
I think the coaching is so much better these days that technique is on most of these curlers is really good, sweeping wise, throwing wise. Saskatchewan's decided to split the house here. I think they're shot at the back, so they're going to draw like top 4, I think.
Yeah, they're going to want to. They played it pretty wide. I think they wanted to be careful they didn't over curl behind that corner and leave a freeze opportunity for Quebec to maybe bail out of the end with them. But this is a smart call, bringing it into the 4-foot. And second shot here is pretty important, but it looks like those sweepers dragged it far enough.
Yep.
Good sweep. The only thing right now is Quebec does have control of the front of the house, so they're probably not too upset about that. And that one in the back is, if you make this shot really well, you might be able to get the roll and the double.
Yeah, I don't think Quebec's too concerned about that rock at the blue rock at the back of the house right now.
The roll is the key here. This looks like
that's pretty close.
They're gonna have to sweep for the roll.
Got the double, just misses. Just misses the double
there. Good throw.
Quebec needs to just be patient here, and one good shot, and they'll have their 2 set up. Saskatchewan's going to try and keep this house split for as long as they can.
Saskatchewan's probably okay with even nosing this rock here because it'd choke off the out-turn draw path, and they don't really want to come behind that center. Doesn't look like they're going to. A little wide here, but remove the stone.
Make the rock go away first, but they're going to roll out. Let's see what Quebec plays here now. Somehow they need to go around the corner and hope to bring that yellow at the top 12 into play later in the end. I think that's a good call. Get buried around the corner first.
I think this back blue here is fully exposed for them to make a play at with probably a quieter weight hit later on if it comes into play. And you never know. That could be their 3rd point.
Right now, I would just try to get a safe 2 and get some confidence back. Sweepers are waving a little heavy on this one again. Looks like it's going to slide through, unfortunately. See what Saskatchewan plays here. They decide to draw again, or if they just decide to... They rip that one up at the front of the house. Quebec's going around the corner again, so looks like I think they're going to beat them there by the looks of things.
Yeah, I'll try to leave this one a little bit higher, just maybe grabbing a piece of the 8-foot. Notice the draw paths out here. They're not taking a ton of ice, but like we said earlier, Ackerman's got that nice rotation, so her rocks don't look like they curl quite as hard as everyone else's.
Seems to be more curl coming from the outside in than there is from the inside out from what we've seen so far, but still lots of nice curl. Curler's dream.
Yeah, it's so much fun when you can figure out the curl line and watch rocks just glide into the spot they're supposed to be. I know at this level it sometimes is a little nerve-wracking because it's got such a late break to it, but it looks like the ice here has got a nice consistent curl, and they've had a real treat this week.
This one's running straight at the moment. Really just needs to split the house to have the force on for Saskatchewan.
Looks like that path is maybe getting a little bit quicker than they thought it is, but
well, far enough back there's no double, so Quebec's either going to draw behind the corner or maybe play a quiet hit and roll behind that corner.
Yeah, looking like they're going to hit this. Third looks like she saw something out there on the ice, looking to go clean it off.
Our broadcast booth, if you call it a booth. It's right next to the VIP area here, so we can get some loud conversations coming through.
Yeah.
All right, Hannah's first rock here. See if she can make a nice hit and roll behind.
Looks like a pretty good release.
Real nice, solid slide there.
She's getting a way more curl off those center lines.
Yeah, she's getting more curl than Skylar did. Slightly different rotation release there.
But looks like that's a pretty good shot.
Great shot. I think she hung on for shot there. She might have
Poked open.
Yeah, might have poked open on the other side.
Yeah, looking like they're signaling it's open in the
Yeah,
back.
looks like it's wide open.
Saskatchewan probably gonna, if they have. Oh,
Front end in the hack is saying there's less ice than the one standing at the hog line there. So,
generally, I think you go with the one in the hack.
yeah,
There.
I would think so. A lot of the games are done their fourth end. There's just our game and a couple others that are finishing up their fourth end. Then they'll get their break.
Yep, Saskatchewan looking like they can get at that. Pretty exposed there. I think the final consensus was there was a piece of it buried, but with the guard and the shot rock having a good amount of separation between it, they should get a little bit of curl. And the big thing here, I would think, is make it go away, but they're probably going to try to stick their shooter too to get the force on.
Got to be a little careful here of that yellow guard that's in the way. You don't want to tick that one into the house.
Yeah, that would be.
They threw decent weight, so should be able to keep it. Sweepers are doing a good job keeping it clean. Oh, it is ticking that.
Oh, no.
Oh, geez.
Looks like Quebec, their patience has paid off, and they're.
It's the danger of throwing a little bit of down weight there. If you do miss, that rock staying in the house.
Just drawing for the three here. She was pretty confident on that one. She didn't really look at the hit for four too much, so it's probably a smart call. Get your three here and ensure that you're right back in this game.
Yeah, after the start they had, I think going into the fourth end break, a three will feel like a big win. So
yeah, it's going to be a huge confidence boost for the team out there, and I'm sure coaches will have a good conversation and keep momentum going into the back half of the game.
Anna should have a better idea. She threw a draw with her last one in the third end, so should be pretty consistent all the way.
I think she can trust her sweepers here on this one too. They
jumped on that right away. So
they can drag it here. I think they're just being careful with it, but yeah, they got to go.
Oh, I think they got to go on this one. Yeah. Unfortunately, they're going to come up a little bit light, but two at least gets them back in the game at the halfway point.
So they'll head into the break with Saskatchewan up 5-3 on Quebec. 5-2, my apologies.
Andrew was giving her that draw.
Looks like the game in our second feature sheet with Saskatchewan and Quebec men's is a heavyweight run back coming here. Looks like they've used up quite a bit of their shot clock time already. I know our girls going into the fourth end break were only at about the 18-minute mark, and the men here look like looks like there's been some thinking going on with how many rocks have been in play every end, and
yeah, they're looking like they're going to be down in the 15-minute range. So.
All right, I'll be
All right, we're back from the fourth end break here. Quebec just got their 2. 5-2 Saskatchewan starting the fifth end here. Saskatchewan has hammer. Quebec's called center guard. So players had a chance to chat with their coaches for 5 minutes, get some fuel in them, and go hard for the last 4 ends here.
Yeah, we'll probably be seeing Team Quebec here play a pretty aggressive back half. They are still a little bit down, but that 2 and 4 will be a good confidence boost heading into the back half of this game.
Yeah, Hannah made a nice shot there on her first one to get that hit and roll to set up the possible 3, but
that's one of the tougher shots, I think, is going from the hit to the draw, because you tend to feel like you either take too much off or throw it a little too heavy. So never an easy shot to go, but it's good practice for them at this age to get used throwing those.
So Quebec throws up the great center guard, and Saskatchewan's going to go around it. Top 4 ideally. Yeah,
this is generally the play you see now with the 5-rock rule. If you don't come around that center and give Quebec the opportunity to, you'll be chasing the rest of the end. And Saskatchewan making a pretty nice draw here. I think leaving just maybe half the rock open, but really nice weight there.
Quebec looks like they're going to chase it. A couple of options here. You can tap that back, you could corner freeze, or you can get it right out of the house if you want. Saskatchewan's probably going to be happy with as few rocks in play as possible. Amy looks like she's throwing this well, going to hit and roll to the side a little bit.
Nice roll.
Great weight control there.
I imagine Saskatchewan, yeah, they're going to run up and hit that one pretty quick. Saskatchewan boys, good drag there from the sweepers to get their second shot, so that'll tie that game up heading into their fourth end break.
Our sheet, Saskatchewan hit that Quebec rock and rolled out, so Quebec's going to try and bury one around their tight center guard.
Quebec's probably okay with the roll out there. It gives them a chance to get around that nice center that was thrown by their lead.
Says Amber Gargle throwing here. Sweepers are going hard on this one right from the get-go. Might be a little bit light.
Being light here is okay though, because it still keeps some guards in play, which is...
Guards are Quebec's friends right now, I think.
And the nice thing is those didn't overlap those guards, so if Quebec ever did have to run one back in, if Saskatchewan gets one dead buried here, that is still an option for them.
A little bit surprised here that Saskatchewan's not ripping the guard. I think 5 rocks have been thrown, so kind of staying on the offense, but it's kind of the new 5-rock rule is up 3, doesn't feel like it used to.
Yeah.
Saskatchewan's been curling well, so they might just decide to keep putting the pressure on here.
This is going to get some good late finish, and I think almost fully bury. Might leave a piece showing.
Not much, but a quarter of it maybe.
Yeah.
Good job by Chantel there.
Yep. I'm curious to see if we'll see Quebec maybe, if they try to chase that blue, if they'll cut their weight down a little bit and just push it to the back. They've been throwing pretty heavy right now to make sure rocks go away, which is smart, but it looks like they're actually electing to throw the run back.
And the run back, she looked like a choice between the run back and the drawing on this open side. Kind of like your shot, Andrew, there. Just play a back line, back to 8-foot weight, maybe just tap that blue rock back. All this late curl, I think.
Yeah, I think you can get to almost nose with it, and keeping rocks in play is going to keep Quebec happy. This is almost not the end of the world, but
Open that back blue one up a little bit. Left one of the centers there, so Quebec or Saskatchewan's going to try to wrap around again here. Might try to Christmas tree their rocks around that yellow guard. Chantal had great weight on her first one, so
looks like the sweeper was getting a little close to the thrower there, kicked the broom a little bit. But I think she had a pretty solid slide, so was able to keep going there. And should break late here across the hog line to be a pretty good shot, but it's holding out there.
real good weight again. 2 rocks in a row from Chantal.
Yeah, Saskatchewan really seems to have that draw weight down early, and that's probably been a key success factor for them. And
yeah, their draw weight's been a little more consistent so far today. Can maybe just see all of that front one, maybe not quite.
I think this is tracking outwards just a little bit, but they're gonna make something go away.
At least the top one's gonna go, and actually made the back. Wow, great shot.
Great shot.
Great shot.
Very, very nice shot.
Enough to get rid of the back one and squish that blue one out to the edge of the 12-foot. Saskatchewan's kind of getting what they want, though. Fairly stress-free end for them, and they're making Quebec play hits when Quebec needs to score some points here.
Yeah, and they make a nice one here. Their deuce is set up very nice. Looks like this one's just on that little wide track again. They're not quite getting the breaking right around the hog line.
There it goes at the end there.
Getting that in was huge. Really good sweep there by the sweepers.
Really impressed. These young sweepers have the directional sweeping all figured out, it seems like. So
yeah, they can make them curl quite a bit from. Sweepers going early on this one. They're trying to make sure they don't bring that guard into play. Looks like this is a good hold, though.
Gotta go hard
go.
To get this point.
Oh,
great job sweeping
good
and
sweep.
the inside roll.
I didn't think he could get the inside roll there. That was
great shot by Kyra there.
Yeah. Saskatchewan just gonna not take any chances and get that guard out of play. And
Brad's beating up on the mic here. Great job by the Quebec sweepers there.
yeah, they held that rock, I think, out of her hand. And
hog line, I didn't think that was getting by. Madison's just playing the peel here, I think. I don't think we're running back or anything like that, just straight peel.
yeah, I think just a straight peel. They're probably not too worried. I think they've got their draw weight figured out, so as long as they can keep a path open to the button for even 1 point here is pretty big for Saskatchewan, taking a 4-point lead. But
A little surprised here. Quebec's going to hit the one on the outside 12. I thought they might throw that guard back and really go hard for the steal.
yeah, they've got the scoring area shrinked pretty small right now, so I'm a little surprised as well. The guard would be the more aggressive of the two plays for sure. This, I guess, ensures that Saskatchewan's probably only gonna get one in your force. So if you force and get a deuce, you're right in this game still. So
Tough spot to hit and sit out there or out wide.
yeah, those are tough ones to throw looking at them. But
Never too sure if they're going to run straight or they're going to catch a little spot where a great throw.
Yeah, really good throw. Very nice.
Great throw by Hannah out wide there.
Sweeper's giving her the high five. And
Saskatchewan's just going to hit that one at the top of the 8 foot there. Probably just try to sit there. I don't know if they'll go for a rollover in front of that other one or not. I think they're probably going to be happy scoring one the way this ends unfolded.
yeah, the roll is the aggressive call. It might bring your 2 into play if there's ever a mistake from Quebec, but I think they're going to be happy to just nose this one, and odds are they'll be throwing the same shot twice if Quebec decides to nose it as well. Real solid throw again, it looks like.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a lost child, a little boy named Lucas, 5 years old, wearing an Oilers toque. Little boy named Lucas, 5 years old, with an Oilers toque. If you see him, please let a volunteer know. Thank you very much. A lost little boy, 5 years old, named Lucas, wearing an Oilers toque. Got him? He has been found. Thank you.
Don't know if you heard that over the mic, but there was a lost child for about 5 seconds there, but he's been found, so everything's good.
Nice throw by Skylar there to hit that rock on the nose.
Quebec's going to hit this back, try to lie 2. Force is on big time.
This one looks a little bit wider, but I think the
Nice quiet weight, I think.
has about half a rock right now. So just gonna stick or just roll out? Just roll out.
It's just rolling out, so she's going to give Saskatchewan a chance to blank now.
Yeah, the big thing here for Saskatchewan is make the rock go away first, and then
If Saskatchewan gets the blank here, Quebec's going to have to go a little bit more offensive than they did that last end.
yeah, we're running out of ends here, and they probably looking at the point where they almost need to score out the game, but lots of great curling out there today. All of our games out here are pretty close, actually. There's been not too many blowouts.
A couple of big ends on the other end of the arena there between Ontario and BC.
Yeah, I've been trading them back and forth on the first sheet over there.
Skylar got a little wide here on this blank attempt.
They signaled it was quiet, though, so it might curl up for her. I think she's got it. Ooh. Big steal by Quebec.
Yeah, didn't hit it hard enough, so.
Well, Quebec's going to be pretty happy with that outcome. Makes our game nice and close.
Yep. 2-point difference now. Anybody's game again. Quebec's probably starting to feel a little more confident. Just to run some scores by you, if my eyes are good enough for the end of the rink, the BC men are up 7-5 on the Ontario men. BC scored a 3-ender and a 4-ender so far. The Ontario women cracked a 4-ender and they're now up 8-2 on the BC women. Our game here, Quebec's gonna get Amy to throw up a center guard again. Go on the offense. Yep.
Yeah, I imagine they're going to be playing for the steal again this end. The force isn't a bad outcome, but they're going to be pretty aggressive in their play style. As we said earlier, this is a big game for both teams, as both of them are sitting in 5th and 6th position, and a win here gets them that much closer to the playoff round with the top 6 teams advancing.
Amy's just a little bit heavy. She's going to come in top 4.
I would be surprised if, you don't see Saskatchewan hit that there.
This is Samantha McLaren throwing for Saskatchewan here. See, Skylar's got green duct tape on her curling mitts. I haven't really seen her use them as sweeping signals, but I'm guessing that's what they're there for. Samantha hits and rolls out.
Gives Quebec the chance to get the center guard back up in play.
Nice thing about that 5 rock rule is you get a couple of chances if you happen to miss one of them. Sweepers are indicating a little heavy yet again.
Yeah, this one looks even maybe a touch heavier than the last one. Looks like it's coming down okay though. Really good top 4 weight.
Great to see all the fans sitting out on the ice. It must not be too cold out there. There's some blankets, but there isn't a bunch of them out there. So.
Yeah, I see a couple people with some blankets, but I think they've got the heaters out there going and keeping fans warm, and they look like they're all dressed appropriately. We do have the lobster costume running around somewhere, so.
I think that's the first time I've seen stands out on the ice out at down at Pidherney here.
That's nice to see.
Nice with 12 sheets to be able to put stands on 2 of the sheets and still have 10 sheets of curling going on.
Yeah.
Saskatchewan hits and sticks this time, and Quebec's just gonna try to hit back again here.
Yeah, it's a little curious because I think they can still put, well, this would be, no, they have used up all the rocks in the 5 guard, so if they played the center guard, I imagine Saskatchewan would run up and peel it pretty quick.
Kind of with you, Andrew, though. I think it's throw a few more center guards and make them peel them. I think Amber might have got that one going a little bit. And this curly ice, if you start them at all, it's not very forgiving.
Oh, the ice makers have done a good job making sure that you got to throw it good to make a good one, which is at this level is more than fair.
Saskatchewan, Skylar's going to get try to split the house here.
Yeah, wide open for her. And
nice wide open end to hopefully get 2 and start to feel comfortable about this game.
Really impressed with how those Saskatchewan sweepers judge a rock.
Yeah.
They, great sweepers. The Quebec sweepers as well actually are. There hasn't been too many sweeping mistakes out there, if any.
Quebec's kind of almost forced to hit here now.
Yeah, if they play anything else, they're risking the big end. So.
With that outside in turn this time, probably runs a little bit straighter, maybe.
Yeah, this one looks like it has a little bit more weight too than the last one, so they're not going to quite get that curl out of it. So Saskatchewan now will look to bring another one in play here. Trying to keep all those rocks above the tee line so there's nothing for Quebec to freeze down to, I would imagine. And
yeah, I would think the tolerance here is a little bit heavy, if anything.
Yeah. Yeah, you do not want to get a guard in play for them, but sweepers sticking close with this one.
Chantel's probably had the best draw weight of anybody out on the ice today, I would say, so I expect this to be somewhere good.
Yeah, sweepers haven't really touched this the whole way down. I think they're just going to finish it in, and
it's kind of a heavy clean, and now they're going a little bit.
Just to get it into the top 12 there, yeah.
Pretty much perfect where Skylar had her broom. Over curled that hair if you wanted to play a freeze, but it looks like Hannah's going to call the hit.
Yeah, I think you try the double at this point, and you've kind of bought into the hit game at this point in the game, so.
Tough for Quebec to get too aggressive here with no guards in play now, so yeah. It's all about limiting damage now, and you never know. Hit and stick in front of something might make it interesting for.
I think they're just getting a little tricked by that outside path there.
Sure seems to be running a little bit straight there as soon as you throw some weight.
Yeah.
A little bit different than the draws.
Hannah there even tightened the ice up, and it still just ran straight. Looks like it might even be falling a little bit in that spot. So
I think Saskatchewan, I think Skylar's going to get Madison to draw top 4, top 8 here, right in the center, I think.
yeah, this is a point if you're Saskatchewan, you don't want to get too risky and put something behind for top 12. I think I like that call.
It's almost getting to the point, it's too many rocks.
Yeah.
If you're trying to keep it clean, you go, where do I put this other rock? I think this is about the best spot, though.
Yeah, this is gonna. And again, great draw weight here, great sweep, and they're gonna put that right where the broom is. Ooh.
Oh, that was funny. That one
Looked like I dug a little on him.
Don't know if the slide path is getting a little fudgy there or not. That the sweepers were just an easy clean on that, and all of a sudden it came crashing down weight-wise.
Looked like it might have grabbed something. It did shoot over pretty. This one looks like a little bit more weight too. They're trying to get some granite moving. Make one go away.
Still struggling with that wide out turn.
Gotta be a little careful here if you're Saskatchewan, because you did put a center guard up, so you're gonna leave them maybe an out.
Yeah, she talked about going around the center, but I think she's decided to just replace that one that Quebec just put out. She's
Playing the other turn,
Yeah.
probably.
roughly the same spot. I think she wants to guard the inside of that one that's sitting on the tee line there.
The nice thing is with Saskatchewan's rock is they are above the tee line, so if Quebec was ever to maybe sneak one around the out turn or in turn side with the draw, they could play at it pretty easy. Sweeper's not taking any chances on this one. Looks like they have to go.
That was a great job. That was pretty much from a release to right to the end to
Yeah.
drag that in there. Great job. Sweepers give themselves a high five. I would after that too.
Down to skip stones here, so there's no easy shot.
I think the saving rock for Quebec right now is that short center guard, if they can find a way behind it. Looking at the double here.
You probably get the roll if you play it a little tight. And I don't think you'll be shot though, but that's not the end of the world.
What do you think about the hit on the one on the other side, hit and roll behind?
Hitting the roll. That's kind of what my original thought was. It's a different path than they've thrown. They've thrown quite a few down here, but that the nice thing I like about the one on the wide side is if you're ever a little tight, you might have a catcher with the one there.
Either one of the top rolls, you probably don't get shot if you roll behind the guard,
but it really shrinks that scoring area down and either forces Skylar to throw a short run back or a tricky draw. So I was almost thinking it's a little more aggressive just playing the draw right now on the intern side, but
it's almost getting to that point. I think if this is the scenario on Hannah's last one, it might be just about all she has if she's going to try to score. She hits the top one and rolls out again. I would imagine Saskatchewan plunks it back in the same spot.
Yeah, that rock was in a pretty good spot for them with having hammer. You can do a lot with it where it was.
I think it really forces Quebec if they're gonna think about scoring, it's going to be nothing but the draw, as those hit and rolls are difficult. So.
And it's a comfort thing too. I know Hannah hasn't thrown a ton of draws, but at a certain point you have to look at the end and figure out when the bail point is. And
just Just an update on the men's game beside us. The Saskatchewan men stole one in 5, so they are up 4-3 playing the 6th end. Quebec has hammer.
Made a beautiful draw for that steal. They were, I believe, Quebec was lying 2 or 3 at the one point, and they plopped it right on top. And
there has been a ton of rocks in play in that game. This one looks pretty good again.
Sweepers just guiding it in. Very aware of where they want it. And
Saskatchewan's doing a great job of putting the rock right where they want it. It's probably a chance now. If Hannah wants to play the double, she could probably roll and get shot off of it. Might have come in a little deeper than Saskatchewan wanted, but
yeah, at this point it might be worth playing to try to get some of those rocks out of play, because if you make the double, the most you're giving up is 2. But if you make a good roll, it could put Saskatchewan in a bit of a tough position. It looks like she wants to hit regardless of what the plan is, which would make sense. She just threw a hit, so.
Not sure if the double rolls behind that center, do you think? I'm thinking it probably doesn't.
I'm thinking you leave probably 3/4 of it in the open, but.
Looks like she's going to play the double.
Taking quite a bit less ice here. I think almost negative ice. I don't know. Just tighten it up into the inside of the rock. Team Newfoundland out there throwing some big cheers up. I believe they made a very nice shot on 8 to lie 3.
That's great to see all the different colors out on in the stands. You can kind of see the different groupings. The flags are out there and the colored coats are out there.
Looks like we're getting in quite a few athletes that were done their competitions last week coming out to cheer on their teams, and Team Newfoundland has the cardboard cutouts of the team's heads.
All right, here comes Hannah's rock.
It's moving.
She threw pretty good weight. She's obviously playing the double. Play the double and the roll behind.
Looks
Needs
like
to
she's on
curl.
nose right now.
Needs to curl. And she's gonna get rid of one of them. Just needed to curl up a little bit. Saskatchewan's got a draw for 3.
I imagine they're gonna play down the intern path there. Don't want to
look like Skylar wanted to throw the one she just threw, but that yellow rock's a little too much in the way, so I think she'll go over here.
Yeah, make sure you get your deuce. You're in pretty good shape if you're Saskatchewan.
Looks like she's got a pretty good pre-shot routine she runs through before each shot.
Looks maybe a touch heavier here, but Madison signaling for line, I think, a little.
Just gonna squeak by that top one, right into the 4-foot. Really good job of judging by the Saskatchewan sweepers.
That was a very nice shot.
They do a great job of that tight sweeper cleaning, and the front sweepers watching for weight and communicating with the broom holder.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's been a shot out there that the whole team hasn't known what's going on, and looks like there's lots of weight calls and constant communication between the teams.
So we're at 8-3 after 6 ends for Saskatchewan, and Quebec will have hammer playing the 7th end. Looks like there's a little powwow going on with the coaches at the back.
see our ice technician out there inspecting the ice. I think he's got to be pretty happy with how it's turned out this week. Looks like it's been running really nice, and it's got some really nice curl to it. So.
Yeah, and I think the draws are far enough apart. I think they're probably getting a good scrape in between, so they probably get good ice every single draw, I think.
Yeah.
So.
We get kind of spoiled here in Red Deer for the most part. We have phenomenal ice, so makes it a little tough when you go away and you get used to being spoiled so much. But
yeah. All right, ready to go for N7 here.
I imagine Saskatchewan's going to keep up with the same approach they've been doing, playing the clean game with the lead they have, and Quebec will be looking for that big end opportunity day.
Yeah, I would say it's a minimum 2 here, almost a minimum 3 for Quebec now. 2 ends to go, down 5. Get 2 or 3 and then try to put some pressure on Saskatchewan in that last end.
Yeah. Saskatchewan not missing the weight call or sweeping either. They were on that out of her hand and plopped it right on the forefoot.
I think it's just
I would say, yeah, the story of this week almost looks like the front ends and the sweepers are kind of in control of the game for everyone. They've been making it really easy on some of the skips.
Yeah, looks like it.
Got a good feel for the ice, and
Amy throws up the corner guard. I almost expect Quebec might need to throw up 2 corner guards this time around. I know it gets a little scary with the 5 rock rule. Saskatchewan's going to plop another one, probably top 12 here.
yeah, at this point though, you almost have to take the risk and throw up the second one and make a couple good ones. Saskatchewan signaling this is a little bit heavy, so they're probably okay with it locking onto that one in the house, but it's not curling up like the other ones did.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
there
they
it
take
goes.
the freeze rather than being short, so.
There it goes. It's going to curl up good. Again, great communication by the sweepers to let the skip know that. I think they had switched to plan B before it even made it halfway.
I think that's been the advantage today. Saskatchewan's draw weight's just been a little bit more consistent than Quebec's. Amy's going behind the center guard. She just threw.
I'm a little surprised she didn't opt to play the second corner. But this isn't a bad call either. Gotta be careful with this one. Gonna stick
As
it
long
around.
as it's buried, that's the main goal here. It's buried at the back of the house.
Yeah, Saskatchewan gonna keep that center line path closed.
This is the fun part of the 5 rock rule, is if you're the team with hammer and gambling with corner guards, the other team now lines up all those rocks on the center line and makes it awful hard for you to score. So somewhere along the way you got to be able to throw a big weight shot and move some things off of the forefoot.
We've seen teams get so good at those run backs now, though, it's almost second nature. Before, you used to see people hesitate about throwing them, and now it's you run up and slap the broom down. Ooh, that looked like a nice shot.
Chantel throws up the perfect guard there. Now it's hard for Quebec. How does Quebec get those rocks off? Okay, she's talking about just coming around. And
for me, I think I'd be trying to move the center one. I think that's more of the difficult stone, that guard. And if you're lucky, you get another corner out of it maybe, but
she's looking at backline weight here, try to jiggle those ones on the forefoot around.
it's tough to tell right now, but I believe those rocks are frozen, so
I
do you think
think
we'll
they
have
are.
a little drag effect come in if they do hit it?
I don't think she's going to hit it hard enough to.
Yeah, to
yeah.
really come and play, but definitely.
I think she's just trying to push it to the back of the house. This
Get
is
some
looking
separation.
great.
This looks really good. Stick that shooter out in the way, yeah.
That's way better than it was. Jiggled them enough that they're not frozen. I think one's at the back of the button now, so.
Yeah, if you ever had to play down to it, you'd have some backing. And that was a very nice shot.
Saskatchewan's just going to be hitting away here, so. Probably don't care if they stick around with Chantel's rock here. Just it's all about making yellow rocks go away now. This is that same side of the ice that coming this way didn't curl that much, and kind of the same there with it once you throw some weight.
Yeah, it just doesn't want to curl for you.
Well, Hannah got those rocks separated and behind the tee lines. Now I think she's going to try and play the hit and roll behind the corner guard. Is that what she called?
Yeah, she had signaled a quieter weight hit and trying to hit probably about half that rock, 3/4, and roll up behind the corner.
Through nice quiet weight here. This is going to curl.
No, yeah, this is the. Still going to make it go away, but.
Not a bad shot. Good shot. Would have been a bit of a gutsy call there to call the sweepers off and go for the inside roll, but.
Yeah, you would have been getting real close to
Yeah.
that center and even the one in the top of the 4-foot there. And just a ton of rocks in play again for the sheet next to us. I don't think there's been one clean end.
Saskatchewan looks like they've got this yellow one here. Probably going to hit right there.
They were pretty confident on that
Yeah.
one. Good throw, though.
Now back to being in front of the tee lines. I think this outside rolls hard with the out turn. They're probably, if they're thinking outside roll, I think that's more in turn.
The in-turn as a thrower looks nicer, too, I think. You don't have to worry about sneaking by that high corner. And
I don't hate the inside roll. The only thing with the inside roll is then how do you get that blue one out of there?
yeah. At some point or another, I do think they are still going to need to make a play on that center line guard. Looked like that was thrown okay. It should curl here. We've been seeing a lot of curl off this center line path. Got to be careful.
Looks
with
pretty
it.
good
Looks
here.
really good.
Definitely rolling out a little bit.
It's a very nice
Pretty
shot.
good shot. It's open, but well, I'm not sure from the hack. Oof.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty buried.
Half or less, it looks like, from the hack it's called. So great shot by Quebec there. Kind of forcing Saskatchewan into the kind of shot they probably wish they weren't playing right now. Some quiet freeze.
Yeah, Saskatchewan would much rather be hitting right now, I think, and they could hit the back one if they really wanted to, but that becomes risky too if you ever nose it and leave your shot rock back there.
I think this is a little more comfortable knowing you got that one buried behind the center guard there.
Signaling heavy, so calling onto the back one anyway, and sweeper's going to get it on the back one. Looks like it might
Looks like
overcurl.
it's going to overcurl that one.
They're going to try to rub off the...
Lion 2, not the end of the world, I don't think. Didn't set up a double or anything, I don't think so. Be interesting to see how long Quebec leaves that buried rock there. They're building up a big end if they can ever get rid of that one.
They're running out of rocks, though.
Yeah, I think this is Kyra's last rock, isn't it?
See, for me, I think making this play on the thirds last is a Because having your skip try to throw it is a bit more of a difficult time, but
I guess they're hoping the thing you hope for is you make this and then you get the miss. I think she's on the guard here, though.
Clip that one.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Quebec's just kind of been on the wrong side of the inch for a lot of the game today, unfortunately. Saskatchewan again back to now there's a chance to hit some yellow rocks. So.
So Saskatchewan electing to hit here and keep things as clean as possible.
Wonder if she's nosing or is she playing the yellow double?
Be curious. It's tough to tell if it's definitely there. It's just how close you have to come to that blue.
They've thrown a few takeouts out here. This was that. They were out a little wider 2 ends ago. It seemed to run pretty straight on them. Big shout out to our camera person, Sam. She's been doing all the video part of it today, doing a great job.
Nice to see a lot of young fans out there too. Lots of kids here.
Pin collecting seems to be a big
Ooh, that's a really nice shot.
big game for some of the young fans. I saw some yesterday running around with just a ton of pins.
Kind of funny if that landed on the ice.
Yeah. Saskatchewan's kind of got the force on big time here. I think they'd be ecstatic if they could give up one to Quebec here. You can tell the way Quebec's looking, there isn't a real good choice for them here. It's not a real good spot to draw. The hit and the roll's tough.
Yeah, and they waited a little too long to make a play on that guard.
I'm kind of with you. I think earlier the peel the guard but try to roll to another corner might have been a safer play for them.
It's tough though when you're down. You got to take some risks. And
this looks like the hit in the outside one and try to roll buried. I think that one, it's hard to tell with that camera not working at the far end. Do you think that buried one's in the forefoot?
I think it's half in the forefoot.
Yeah, so she can probably hit and roll back 4 here and still be shot and hopefully set up a 2.
Would you? I kind of like playing the out turn at it. Keep it a little higher.
That intern sure seems to be curling hard, and maybe their coach liked something else different because it looks like we've called timeout here. We got our first game done. It looks like the Nova Scotia women have beaten the PEI women on sheet 7, I think.
I think sheet 3 is also done. Ontario versus BC, I believe. I don't know if I see them out there anymore. I think that one's done.
Looks like it might be, yeah.
I think Ontario won that one 11-4.
That's the women's game, yeah. Most of our games are either in 8 or getting ready to play 8, except for the Saskatchewan-Quebec boys game. It seems to be a little slower. They're just halfway through this, well, not even halfway through the 7th end here. So
they've been playing a very aggressive play style. Lots of rocks, lots of thinking in play, and so see what coach has to say here, calling the timeout.
Saskatchewan team looks pretty relaxed. Just looked like the coach was reaffirming what to stick with for the rest of the game here.
Yeah, they've had a pretty consistent game plan for throughout the whole game, and they haven't really deviated from it much, and it's been paying off for them. So
another draw this afternoon, I think at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, I think that's the next time.
Not sure if these teams play again or not. I think there's a few teams out here. I haven't seen Manitoba out here this morning, so they probably play this afternoon.
Brad's from Manitoba, so he's really looking for the home team to cheer on.
Yeah, I need a toque.
Yeah, I believe a couple teams get the next draw off, but for the most part, a good chunk of them are back out here to play again. And
I think there's another 2 draws tomorrow, 10 and 5, and then Friday I think there's 3 draws. I think, but Friday I think the playoffs start. I think so.
Yeah, I believe tomorrow they have the championship pool decided.
I'm not sure. Yeah. That seemed like a little bit longer of a timeout.
I was a little surprised. They had 5 minutes on the clock.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was kind of wondering. It seemed like, I don't know if they called 2 of them or.
I think they very well could have. So it looks like coach has talked him into playing on that guard. This isn't a bad call because at the very least it might open it up for you and give you a shot.
Wow, and if you open it up and you ever don't put the guard on the right side, it does give you a potential double for 2. It'll be interesting if they peel this. Does Saskatchewan put it back, or do they go and rip that back yellow? And
looks like she favors her out turn a little bit, because I'd almost be tempted to play the in turn peel at this.
Yeah, if you're a little wide on the in turn, you maybe get the double on the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like she's got it okay though.
It's close. Needs to curl a hair.
That's a very
close,
good shot.
Great. Oh, and just misses the jam at the back. What a great shot. Great throw. Well, I guess if you're going to throw your out turn like that, you can favor it.
Yeah.
Saskatchewan's going to try to replace that, put it right back there.
It's not an easy thing to do. They haven't thrown that draw path in a little while. I mean, they've been really on their draw weight, but this is anywhere light. It's a hit for 2 for Quebec.
Yeah, I think Chantel threw a couple here a few ends ago, but it's been a while since they've thrown one. They've been pretty close all game. I expect them to, what do they need? Bite the 8 foot, and it's good enough. Looks like they have one of the sweepers using a stopwatch, timing back line to hog or T line to hog, something like that.
And the other one just going off the feel of it. It looks like that combo's been working really good for him. This draw looks really nice. Might over curl a little. Well, no, it's good.
It's pretty good, sitting it right on the button, and definitely the right way to leave it open on that side.
And I don't think they left. It's not an easy double by any means.
She's looking at run back double.
It's tough to tell here which one is higher there. If it's the one on the button, I believe it is, but
they look pretty even to me. Yeah. Both rocks look like they're maybe touching the T line, I think.
Yeah. The way she's lining this up, it looks like the one on the 4 foot might have a little bit of a higher edge on it to try to get that double. This is not an easy shot, but she did just throw it, so.
It's almost what they need now. I'm not sure one's enough. One would make it 8-4. A steal of 4 coming home's probably not that likely. Even with 2 here, you're stealing 3 coming home to get a tie.
Looks like we have another game done. I'm not sure who won. It's the cleanest end I think we've seen on sheet 10 next to us.
Yeah, there's only 6 rocks in play.
This looks
she's
close.
Throwing it hard.
It's got a curl.
Looks like she's got the outside of the. Nope, just drove it by.
Threw that really good, though, I think. Just
Yeah, so a steal of 2 for Saskatchewan. Looks like it's handshake
Handshakes,
time. Yeah, might as well get off the ice and get ready for this afternoon.
so Saskatchewan will win that 10 to 3.
10-3, yeah. Real solid game by Saskatchewan. That puts both teams at 3-3 now. So
Yeah, that'll be. Yeah, it's gonna make playoffs interesting.
yeah, it'll depend what happened on those other sheets. It looked like. What does it look like? It looks like the Northwest Territories women might have beaten Newfoundland. It's
Yeah,
hard to
it's
tell.
hard
They've marked up the 6th and the 7th, and they've shaken a hand. So they don't have the X's to put up when the game is over here on the score sheet. So
A lot of close games out there, though.
well, Andrew, how was that for your first round of broadcasting a curling game?
Didn't think it went that bad once we got through the technical difficulties.
We'll have to see if TSN calls us or not now. Or maybe we're fired before
Yeah.
the 5 p.m. draw.